So, and I'm gonna get my arm up and go straight back. So this movement is just at the elbow joint. I wanna keep my spine as straight as possible though. So I always wanna have good posture, whatever that looks like. I'm exhaling as I push back, and I'm inhaling as I come in. I also wanna keep my neck in neutral, because if I'm looking up like this, I'm gonna have a sore neck when I'm done. Okay, so I just did 12, and then I can just switch around, and I'm gonna look straight ahead, and I'm kind of balancing on this chair. This is not ideal. So this is the third tricep exercise that I've given you. So we have the dips, we have the press downs, these are the kickbacks, and I'm actually gonna show you one more as well. Now, I'm not at all saying that you have to do all 4 of these exercises and do 3 sets of each one, but it gives you some variety. For one thing, your body gets used to whatever you're doing. So in 2 months, if you've been doing the same exercises over and over, you want to switch it up a little bit. You can switch the order, you can switch the intensity, you can switch the frequency, the duration. These are all things that we have control over. So another one is an overhead extension. Now, if you have limited shoulder range of motion, so this is also going to pertain to my head and neck people and my breast cancer. If you can't get your arm up, so if after your mastectomy you can only get your arm to here, don't do this exercise, okay? Eventually, yes, but first I want you to be able to get your arms straight up and down, or pretty close. So I'm going to start with my arm up, and then I'm going to take my other hand and support beneath the elbow. And then I'm going to let that arm come back. Now, people can do this lying on their back also, and this becomes what's called a skull crusher, and I'll let you figure out why. Let me show you what this looks like from the back. That's the nice thing about a swivel chair. So same thing, 10 to 12 on each side, and then you want to bring it straight down, and then we can switch sides. So we go straight up, and then support here. Blow it out as you go up, inhale down. Now, if you hear my elbow clicking, that would be arthritis. It's okay. It's not hurting me, but I do have to be careful of how much weight I lift because I have had overuse injuries in both of my elbows. I have chronic tennis elbow in one, and in this elbow, I actually have, what is it called? It's like a cubital tunnel syndrome, which is like carpal tunnel, but in the elbow. So I've had cortisone injections and PRP in both elbows. I mean, it was so bad. I couldn't have even lifted 2 pounds a few months ago. So I have to be really careful. And I just say this because you can do too much. And I have been notorious in my life for doing too much. So I wouldn't do dips on a swivel chair, but I could do these. I can't give you a side view that way. Let's see. So we would just be doing this. And again, I repeat, I would not recommend a swivel chair, but I just want to show you. We have that. We have the tricep press downs. We have the overhead presses, and we have the kickbacks. So now we've got 4 different exercises for triceps. Now this exercise, like I said, the triceps are sisters. It's primarily working back muscles, and then your rotator cuff, your shoulder girdle stabilizers. But this exercise has saved my shoulders through the years. I used to teach kickboxing, and so I've had a lot of overuse injuries, and this one is really great. And I want to now show you another exercise that is going to be for scapular stabilization. Now, first I'm going to show you in the chair. Okay, and then we're going to move to the wall. But sitting up nice and tall, and it'd be ideal if you had a high back chair or a weight bench that you could make go straight up. You're going to retract your shoulders. You're going to draw your belly button towards your spine. Now your arms they're going to go out at about 45 degrees to your body. But I want you to turn your palms up slightly. So this particular move is called shoulder scaption. And what we're doing is you're going to think about squeezing a tennis ball between your shoulder blade throughout the movement. So all 10 to 12 reps. So belly button's in, head is back. I retract my shoulders, and then I come up. And then slowly going down. So each time I retract, belly button in, I do a little test. I'm sorry I can't get all of me in here. back further I can. Okay. Blow it out as you go up. And so this would be where you would start with no weights. And then you could add some weights. I can find where the little weight went. Here we go. And 2 pounds is heavier than it seems. So we exhale up, making sure we're squeezing those shoulder blades together. So I think between the no weights and the weights, I probably did about 10. And this was actually a little challenging for me because I haven't done this in a while because I've got to be really careful of my neck. Now, while we have these weights, I'm going to go ahead and switch up. So I'm going to use my foam roller. I'm going to do this standing up. So let me get rid of the chair. Now I'm using the foam roller because it helps me to visualize that I'm actually wrapping my shoulder blades around the foam roller. Now what I've shown you so far, the circular bands, the bands in a bag, and the foam roller should all cost less than $100. So that's not too bad to essentially have a home gym. So I'm gonna place this on the wall and then I'm just gonna position myself and get that. I'm gonna bend my knees. And so I can do this here, and I actually have something to squeeze between my shoulder blades. And I'm exhaling up, inhaling down. I'm just gonna do one more because I don't wanna overdo it for myself. All right, so those are 2 ways we can do shoulder scaption. Now, if you want to have nicely defined shoulders, and I will warn you to not overdo it because you don't want to overuse the shoulders. Shoulders and knees are the most common injuries for multiple reasons, but shoulders because they can move in so many different planes of motion. So we increase our risk of hyperextending, and just be really careful and keep the movements to a minimum as you're starting. Don't try and do more than you can. So next we're going to do a frontal raise, and this is going to work your anterior deltoid. Now I'm going to say again, if you don't have full range of motion, so look in the mirror, if you cannot do this, don't do this exercise yet. Just practice doing this and continue to get your arm a little higher. What I don't want to see is you bringing your arm out to here and then bringing it over. You should be able to go up straight in that plane as if you have a pane of glass on each side of your arms. Now we'll start with